like that. And then people got the message. And that was like 5 minutes dialogue. And that's it. Sometimes he could have given, and with excellent, he would have given feminism and then all the Buddhist philosophy, what Buddha has taught in different sutras, so many things. But this venerable monk conveyed the message in such a way that he only spoke few words with his English, and then now that everybody got the message, he articulated that simple factor to the full satisfaction of all concerned at that point. So that's the way they think. Always, if the presentation is okay, if they really feel that you are addressing them, they are focusing them, and then if you encourage them that when they are worried that they don't have the insider perspective, and when you say it's better to have the outsider perspective, can I borrow your outsider perspective please? Sometimes I would ask them, can I borrow? Oh, you take it. And they laugh and they are relaxed. Their worry is gone. They are happy that this monk is saying that it doesn't matter doesn't matter which background we come from. And I would say it's better to be an outsider rather than an insider when they are worried. And at certain points, even though you are an insider, you wouldn't still benefit, because there could be, your perception is wrong, because culture is highly valuable. We need our culture, right? My culture is highly valuable to me, and your culture is highly valuable to you. But both good and bad is culture, right? For religious person, you sacrifice animals in certain cultures, and that's noble, right? That's their culture. If I say it's wrong, and they will kill me. Why? They value their culture so highly that they would feel offended, insulted. Right? So that's why culture is both good and bad. So that's why Buddha has always encouraged us to separate separate the doctrine, dharma from the culture. And that the whole mission theory, the way of the Buddha, we are supposed to propagate dharma. So unless dharma is made part of the American way of thinking, it cannot be said that dharma is existent in America. So that's why when Venerable Mahinda introduced Buddhism to Sri Lanka, Emperor Ashoka's son, right? And then he had brought Bandukopasaka, and then so he ordained Arita, Prince Arista. He was a Sri Lankan, and then he ordained him, and he also ordained Bandukopasaka, and he gave full ordination to Sumana Samanera Sumana, right? And now that there had been performed ordination ceremony and high ordination, full ordination ceremony, after the ceremonies, and the king Devananda walked to Venerable Mahinda, Arahan Mahinda, please, my lord, please tell whether Buddhism is now established on Sri Lankan soil. He said, no, not yet. Why? Unless a locally born, natural born citizen has studied Dharma and then taught the Dharma his way, and then has practiced the Dharma his way, and he is ordained on his land, on his land, in his motherland, the Dharma is not taken root. You cannot say Dharma has taken root. And we always, when going to the West, we always apply that. You don't necessarily ordain people, but the more fundamental thing is Dharma must be made part of the local way of thinking. And that's why people would always say in America, my sansara, today my sansara is too bad. And they say that. You know what, I have to take a laundry sansara. Laundry sansara means the cycle of suffering, right? Cycle of birth and death. It's like birth and death. Every weekend is laundry. That's why it's American term, right? We just call them American Buddhist lands. It's like slang language now. It's my laundry sansara. It's my souvenir sansara. My birthday sansara is too heavy. I lost all my money. Don't have anything left because I had the birthday party. That's sansara. And Bhante, I'm a doctor. I have good sleep last night, yesterday, today is Monday. Right after heaven is hell again. So that's the way they talk about Buddhism, Dharma, expressions. Yeah, that's the way actually. Even the talk is given in that language. When the monk says that, people love that. When the speaker talks in that, and very short sentences, very short expressions. So thank you for asking that fascinating question.
Okay, last one.
It seems that the modern times, okay, I notice most of the people practice well in the Dhamma.
Yes.
It came from the outside to inside, rather than inside to the outside. I realize the outside, is it true or do you agree that the outside benefit more to approach the Buddhism rather than the inside to the outside?
You mean outside, inside in terms of cultural thing, or?
Yeah, if you're born in the Buddhist country, you find it got difficulty to get into the Buddha teaching.
Yeah,
whereas you're born outside the Buddha teaching, like Malaysia is not a Buddhist
actually this is the way.
It's easier for us to get into it.
It's easier for you to get in here. Singaporeans and Malaysians are blessed with that ability. Because I'm not saying what I used to say to America, because you could do that very easily. Because you have time to think, you can just walk around the building, how it looks like. Right? Later you can find the main door. Sometimes there are a few doors to the center. If it's like a circular building, right? It's like a tower, and there are a few doors. You can enter from any door, and there are certain very narrow, and sometimes it could be a cultural door, right? And main door has to be the Dharma. So that's why always outsiders. I am more touched by what outsiders have told me than insiders. And there are times that I am touched by insider stories when in Christian you say born again Christians, right? And even though you don't use that word in America, and there are a lot of Buddhist immigrants over there in America, they call, but I'm like born again. Why? Because now we are beginning to see Buddhism from a different perspective. Sometimes they would say that being in an audience which is over 90% comprised of local Americans, because the monk or the speaker, if he is capable, he would always switch his terminology. He would alternate between the terminology. When he is preaching, he is talking to the audience comprised of immigrant Buddhists, and he would just, it would be more traditional, because that's their taste. Whereas if the audience is all local, and you would use different jokes and different terminology, it's not, at that point there's an immigrant Buddhist, ethnic Buddhist in the audience, and he would come to you and say, I never thought that way, and that's a compliment. Always this, I never heard about it that way. It's different. Meaning, and then they will later say that we are now much closer to our monks, and it is more interactive, and we can ask questions. So that's why I have seen this. When you go to Sri Lanka, you wouldn't see like this. It's not interactive like this. So you are blessed with being outside. Right? It's better to be outside always. That's a universal situation, believe me.
Let us say sadhu chitam to thanks Bhante to come over here to share the Dhamma with us. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, may all the merit that you have accrued gathered from this meritorious deed today be upon all devas and all living beings. May all devas, deities and all living beings come to share our merits. By sharing our merits, may they be well, happy and peaceful. May they be able to achieve highest bliss of nirvana. May all this merit and good karma be upon all your dear departed friends and relatives who have passed away in your name, who have passed away in the name of the member of this Kingdom Buddhist Society, as well as the audience here today. And by sharing in this merit, may our departed friends and relatives be well, happy and peaceful. May they be able to exist in a place where their needs are satisfied, and may they attain highest bliss of nirvana. And may you be blessed with good health and strength and long life in order to continue Dharma practice.